Shalom, shalom. Before I begin, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahawashi, Bahashim, Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors to our teachers, the apostles, and elders of Great Millstone. Much respect to the brothers laboring worldwide in truth and sincerity. Salutations and blessings to the hopeful elect, believing on the words of Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahawashi. It's your brother Dawadah coming at you with another lesson. Lord willing is edifying. And in this lesson, I want to go into a clip that brothers, elders, apostles have either done lessons or has mentioned it. All right. The woman who had a vision or a dream of the blackout, right? Well, we know through biblical prophecy that the Lord said he was going to smite Egypt with plagues as before. Lord willing, we're going to get that. But you seeing what's going on in the planet Earth. The Lord is doing a mighty work, man. You know, that Joel 2. Let's get that. Before we play this video, we'll start there. Joel chapter 2. And again, the Lord can use anybody he wants, to bring forth his message, to show things that he has set to come to pass, right? So this is Joel chapter 2 and verse 28. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. Now, when it's saying that your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, it's not saying women are going to be out there on the highways and byways prophesying, man. No, it's they're gonna have dreams, right? And when those dreams are interpreted, it's prophesying, man. All right, those dreams are gonna be interpreted by her husband, or it's gonna be brought to the church. All right, and these certain clips that we get, we spiritually expound on those things that are set to come to pass, which is what the prophecies, man. All right, it says, and also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit. And that's what you're seeing, man. All right. The spirit of the Lord is being poured out. And Salaki, I don't even think I was sharing that. Please forgive me. Let's see. Here we go. Salaki. Please forgive me. Let's read it again. Joel chapter 2 and verse 28. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your old men shall and your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. All right. And that's what is occurring in the planet Earth, man. Okay. Now let's bring up the video if we can.
Good morning, guys. So I wanted to get on here before my shift starts and tell you guys about the dream I just had. You can take it or leave it. This dream was very eye opening, and just I thank the Holy Spirit for it, and I thank God for allowing me to share. The dream I had was a blackout. It was very dark. When I say blackout, I mean not an inkling of light. The part that was really scary was the fact that people were still clubbing. These people had lanterns and the club was open and they were still in there partying. During this time period, it was rationings. There was no water. There was some food, but there was no water. And I had water, and so I had put water in these clear containers, but it was only like drop amounts, like it was very small amounts, and I was giving them to people who hadn't had water. And um, people were consuming alcohol. It was so crazy. And there were men that were like going around harming people because they didn't have the things that they needed. And it was just a very dark time. And so this dream is clear. Just prepare the way of the Lord. It is a very dark time coming. A blackout is coming.
And look, we've been prophesying of those things, man. A blackout, food shortages, and no water. So the vision or the dream that she had is prophetic, man. All right. And hey, that shows you what a word of a king is. There is power. This is Lord Yahawashi who's bringing these things forth, man. Let's go to the book of Second Ezra. Okay. Chapter 15. And let's get to the point. Yep. Second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. Yeah, this Egypt is America, Babylon the Great, man. All right. You read in Deuteronomy 28:68, where the Lord said he was going to bring us into Egypt again with ships, the land of our captivity. Right. Also, Joel 3:19, I believe you have Edom and Egypt in the same breath. All right. It says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before and will destroy all the land thereof. And that's what we're going to experience, man, or see, where the Lord is going to smite Egypt with plagues as before. All right. And that's how you know this is not talking about ancient Egypt because all the land wasn't destroyed. All right. But those things that the Lord did in Egypt, he's going to do it again, which is a part of what? A blackout. All right. Also, food shortages, Matter of fact, let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 78, and we're going to start at verse 42. All right. It says, they remember not his hand, nor the day when he delivered them from the enemy, how he had wrought his signs in Egypt and his wonders in the field of Zoan, and had turned their rivers into blood. Yeah, that lady said it's not going to be any water, right? Said she had a little bit of water and they was doling them out in drops. She was giving them out in drops, man. Oh, she also mentioned uh, how people were still going to the club. Well, those people are not always mindful of the scourges of your how about outside. You're in the middle of a fucking blackout. You got scarcity of food. You can't pump no gas because there's no power. You can't flush any toilets because there's no water. You can't run in the faucet to get any water because the pumps are out because of electricity. And you still at the fucking club partying, man. Well, that shows you the mindset of our people, man. They're not going to be mindful of the scourges, right? again, Psalm 78 and 44, and had turned their rivers into blood, and their floods that they could not drink. Yeah, the Lord said He's going to take away the whole staff of bread and the whole stay of water. Right? That word staff goes into life, basically, the giving of life. Matter of fact, real quick, we're gonna come back. What is that? Isaiah 3. Yeah. It says Isaiah 3 and 1, for behold, the Lord, excuse me, the Lord of hosts, will take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water. All right. And we know a staff is something that you lean on for to uplift you, to hold you up, man. Right? Let's get this word staff. I believe it's it. Strong's H 4933, excuse me, 38. Slovakia. They said, yeah. The support. Now that's one of them. But this ain't the one I wanted. But this is good though. Slovakia. Every time. So Strong's H 4938, it says support of every kind, staff, and it may be that word stay. But in the Strong's, it says support abstractly, i.e., figuratively, sustenance. Yes, sustenance. The things that you need to live on, man, which is what? Food and water. It says, or concretely, a walking stick, a staff, right? The stuff that holds you up. The Lord is taking away that. Now let's see what this word stay is. Strong's H 4937. It says support staff, a support, i.e., a protector or sustenance stay. Now, pretty much the same word. I know it's another word in Ezekiel. Let's get that. Because that's what the Lord is going to do, man. It's going to be some, like she said, dark times, man. Where it's not going to be any relief in sight. Okay. Yeah, this is it. Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 16. When I shall send upon them the arrows of famine. Yeah, it's going to catch them off guard. Which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you. And I will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff of bread. Right. The Lord is going to take all that stability away. I believe is this staff. Right. Yep. Strong's H 4294. Let's get straight to the point. And the Strong's, it says a support of life. See that? A support of life. So the Lord is going to take away your lifeline, man. Okay. And Jake, as she mentioned in her dream, Jake was partying, man. They're not mindful of the scores. Well, you're going to be mindful. All right. You're going to be very mindful in that day. Okay. When you can't eat your, you can't find anything to eat, man. You ain't had nothing to drink. And basically those people were getting drunk because they didn't want to worry about the problems that they was going through, man. All the hell that they was catching, they was trying to escape it. You know? So back in Psalms chapter 78 and verse 43, it says how he wrought his signs in Egypt and his wonders in the field of Zoan. Hey, as the elder and excuse me, as the apostles say, is lessons inside of lessons, man. Right? It says, and had turned their rivers into blood and their fields that they could not drink. Yeah, no water, man. He sent divers sorts of flies among them, which devoured them, and frogs, which destroyed them. He gave also their increase unto the caterpillar, and their labor unto the locust. See, and they ate up all the crops, man. See, that what that caused a famine. Okay, he destroyed their vines with hail, and their sycamore trees with frost. He gave up their cattle also to the hail, and their flocks to hot thunderbolts. Right. See, it's the Lord that took away their staff, they stay, you know, and it was their whole stay of water and they whole stay of bread, man. You see that? it says, it says, he cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation and trouble by sending evil angels among them. And during that blackout, those apparitions are going to appear, man. Okay. It says, he made a way to his anger. He spared not the soul from death, but gave their life over to the pestilence. See that? And smote all the firstborn of Egypt. Hey, that's what the Lord is actually going to do in this time, man. All right. Remember, it says he's going to cut off the son and the nephew, right? Without your son, without the nephew, that bloodline, that inheritance stops, man. Okay, and that's what the Lord did in Egypt. The firstborn, he cut it off because your firstborn received the inheritance, right? It said, and smote all the firstborn in Egypt, the chief and their strength in the tabernacles of Ham. See, the chief of their strength. See that? So your firstborn, you really all the DNA and ingredients go to that firstborn. It says, but made his own people to go forth like sheep. So like, yeah, to go forth like sheep and guided them in the wilderness like a flock. So the Lord protected his elect, man. All right. And that's what the Lord is going to do in this time. Okay. He's going to protect his elect, man. Real quick. Just go back to the dream. And we're gonna that's the spirit. We was 27 seconds in. We'll start back. Lord willing, we'll be able to get through it. Or Salakia. I'm tripping. We already watched it once. Let's watch it again. If I can get it to go, okay. There we go.
Good morning, guys. So, I wanted to get on here before my shift starts and tell you guys about the dream I just had. You can take it or leave it. This dream was very eye opening and just, I thank the Holy Spirit for it and I thank God for allowing me to share. The dream I had was it was a blackout. It was very dark. When I say blackout, I mean not an inkling of light. The part that was really scary was the fact that people were still clubbing. These people had lanterns and the club was open and they were still in there partying. During this time period, it was
See? Not always mindful of the scourges. All right.
rationings. There was no water. There was some food, but there was no water. and I had water. And so I had put water in these clear containers, but it was only like drop amounts, like it was very small amounts. And I was giving them to people who hadn't had water. And um, people were consuming alcohol. It was so crazy. And there were men that were like going around harming people.
Yeah, invaded one another for the lack of bread, man. Hey, what? Well, how about Yahawah declared and decreed is going to come to pass? Now, let's get another account. We might come back to the video. Let's get another account of what the Lord did in the land of Egypt. You know, the Lord ain't got to change his game plan. Again, what matters is the results. It doesn't matter how it came about, man. Okay. Let's see where we want to start. Yeah, let's start at the top. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17 and verse 1. For great are thy judgments and cannot be expressed. Therefore, unnatured souls have erred. For when the unrighteous men thought to oppress the holy nation, they being stuck in their houses and prisoners of darkness, see that? And fettered with the bonds of a long night, lay their exile from the eternal providence. For while they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins, they were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness, being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions. You see that? So, as the lady mentioned, matter of fact, let's go back. She said it was so dark, right?
Still clubbing. It was a blackout. It was very dark. When I say blackout, I mean not an inkling of light.
See? Not an inkling of light, man. Well, guess what? The Lord is going to do it again, right? Again, it says, for while they're supposed to lie hid in their secret sins, they were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness, being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions. For neither might the corner that held them keep them from fear, but noises as of waters falling down sounded about them, and sad visions appeared unto them in heavy countenance. Right. Apparitions, man. You see where that thing come from? It says, no power of fire might give them light, neither could the bright flames of the stars endure to lighten that horrible night. See? She said a blackout. She went into it like you don't understand what I'm saying. There was no light nowhere. Well, guess what? The Lord is going to do these things again. It says, only there appeared unto them a fire kindled of itself, very dreadful. For being much terrified, they thought the things which they saw to be worse than the sight they saw not. See that? So the Lord is going to show some mighty things in the earth, man. But guess what? The elect is going to be protected, man. Right? Let's see. Matter of fact, um, yeah, it's heavy, man. They were vexed with monstrous apparitions and partly fainted, their heart failing them for a sudden fear and not looked for came upon them. Yeah, man. So then whatsoever they fell down was straightly kept, shut up in a prison without iron bars. Yeah, they was frozen with fear, man. They couldn't move, right? Let's see. It says, for whether he were husbandman or shepherd or a laborer in the field, he was taken and endured that necessity that could not be avoided. For they were all bound with one chain of darkness. See that? And that's the Lord Yahawah. Hey, he's going to perform that work again. It don't matter what position, what job, none of that. All right? When the Lord say he's going to send a plague, it's going to affect all you people, man. Now I want to get this, which is so heavy, in the beginning of chapter 18. It says, nevertheless, thy saints had a very great light, whose voice they hearing and not seeing their shape, because they also had not suffered the same things. They accounted them happy. See? So the Lord made a distinction. All right. He made a distinction between the Egyptians, all right, and the Israelites, man. You see? That's how the Lord is going to get down in this time, man. All right. Let's go back to that. Yep.
Were still clubbing. Dream I had was it was a blackout. It was very dark. When I say blackout, I mean not an inkling of light. The part that was really scary was the fact that people were still clubbing. These people had lanterns and the club was open and they were still in there partying. During this time period, it was rationings. There was no water. There was some food, but there was no water. And I had water, and so I had put water in these clear containers, but it was only like drop amounts, like it was very small amounts, and I was giving them to people who hadn't had water. And um, people were consuming alcohol. It was so crazy. And there were men that were like going around harming people because they didn't have the things that they needed. And it was just a very dark time. And so this dream is clear. Just prepare the way of the Lord. It is a very dark time coming. A blackout is coming.
Again, the scriptures say they're not going to be mindful of the scourges. All right. Matter of fact, Second Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Right. Because they're coming, man. The words of Yahawah are faithful and true. It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a moment. And they weren't mindful, man. In fact, they were going to party out their last so-called days on earth, man, instead of repenting. See? It says, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. See? So they wasn't prudent, man. You know, and that's what's going to be a heavy uh time in prophecy, man. You know, a time like none other. You know, basically Jacob's trouble. All right. Matter of fact, let me continue. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Right? These people are going to be in a heavy spirit of perplexity without any answers, without resources. Matter of fact, let's close it out there. Because that's what we're seeing, man. Those signs. The signs of the times. All right. All the way from that lady having a dream, to the things we see and playing out on the planet Earth now. So this is Luke chapter 21 and verse 25. It says, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves ruin. Right. And we're seeing all those things, signs in the sun and the moon, blood moons, lunar eclipse, right? Eclipse, ring of fire eclipse, right? And in the stars, you got comets, you got planetary alignment, right? You also got the chariots of Yahawashi. All right. It says, and upon the earth, the stress of nations. Hey, where do we begin? Right? It's plenty of distress among these nations. Right? It says with perplexity, the sea and the waves ruin. So let's get this word perplexity. We're going to go into the root word. It's going to be Strong's G639. Right? It says to be without resources. See that? That's what the lady mentioned. It was more food than water, but there was no water at all. And that's what you really need to live, man. That's Lord, man. He's going to come with some real drama. It says to be in straits, right? That word straits, a position or level of difficulty, man. You basically between a rock and a hard place. It says to be left wanting, to be embarrassed, to be in doubt. Yeah, you people are going to be in doubt. And Jake, you're going to be ashamed, man. Your trust in the shadow of Egypt going to be your shame, man. You're going to be embarrassed, right? Again, it says to be in doubt, not know which way to turn, right? You're not going to have the answers. It says to be at a loss with oneself, be in doubt, not know how to decide or what to do, to be perplexed, right? You're going to be a scatterbrain, man. You're not going to know how to make decisions. Is this going to be the best decision? No. Why? Because you ain't hearkening to the counsel of Yahawashi, right? Down here in the Strongs, it says to have no way out. See that? I.e., to be at a loss mentally. Yeah, you're going to be at a loss mentally. Again, a scatterbrain, man. All right? Not knowing how to decide, how to operate. None of that. See? Yeah, that was a very, very heavy dream that sister had, man. And it's just showing forth the works of Yahawashi true. Everything the Lord said was going to come to pass, it's going to come to pass. So I pray this has been edifying. We'll give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors to our teachers, the apostles, and elders of Great Millstone. Till the next time, Shalom.